Maybe Mr. Biden was the Diamond Cross, plot number 2, and maybe this crate is the false cross, and that's the third cross we're looking for. We can zoom in on the screen there, Blue. This is the track of HMCS Whitehorse coming in after we did the last show last week. It's coming into port. Someone else is in port. It's the Norwegian Star. So if you were going to smuggle a crate and get it through the security cordon around the Olympics, there's only one thing you could use. You'd have to use an official ship. And just as a bizarre coincidence, it does a dipsy-doodle here before it goes into port. It's traveling at a speed of 1.1 knots on a course of 119 degrees. The reverse 9/11. What a coincidence. But are there coincidences? Sometimes we wonder. But we have been playing the shell game, watching the movements of these ships, and we'll see if we can get a few more up here for you so you can see where we've been. So what we had was this ship pretty much staying on station off Vancouver Island. We zoom in on that too, Blue. This is HMCS Whitehorse, just doing what they used to call in the Navy the circle jerk, just sailing in endless circles. We were watching, they know we're watching because we're posting a lot of this stuff on Facebook with other people in British Columbia who are watching, and then we see this little dot here and we got concerned. What's this thing? And it turns out this ship is called the Neocalagus. And there's a mouthful. It's a Canadian Coast Guard fisheries vessel, not very big. Well, we were always concerned about what's this name, Calagus. It's a parasite. I don't think we could do better when we name ships. But maybe that's its role and function, is to be the parasite. And Neocalagus goes around, picks up possibly the crate maybe. It was moored there for a day, then it goes back to port. It goes to a certain island, Salt Spring Island. We brought up a couple of shows ago about incidents happening at Salt Spring Island and another place in Vancouver Island, even though the Olympics aren't on Vancouver Island. But we brought it to your attention. We started talking about Princess TNT, Princess Gloria Thurn and Taxis, the woman who was selling a massive land deal, 11,900 acres. That's another 119, by the way, to a bunch of real estate developers in 1999 who just happened to buy into the path of development. Fortunate for them, eh? And being in the path of development, you have to wonder if they had some prior knowledge way back then. It makes us very, very suspicious, because Neocalagus goes to Salt Spring Island. Neocalagus also goes to Deception Bay near Nanaimo, which is very close to some caves that is near the land the princess sold. How convenient. Princess Gloria was a title that comes from the Pope. This is what the caves look like. They're at Horn Lake, and they're just an enormous set of caves. It's pretty much go on your own and look around. If you've ever been there, I guess you know a lot more about it than I did. So Neocalagus, comes into port, sits here in Deception Bay. Deception Bay is just a very, very interesting place, because there was a massive explosion there in 1903. Dynamite, one of the biggest, probably non-nuclear explosions that's ever happened in Canadian history. And Princess TNT is the nickname for Princess Gloria. She was quite the rebel rouser in her day. So you kind of wonder, why you have coincidences like this where you have the same name. So her land was bought by 4255 Investments Limited. They're on the 11th floor, of course, of 938 Howe Street in Vancouver. And, of course, 3 and 8 are 11. 938, 911. another one. Their phone number ends in 6018. Their fax number 6048. So you have, 4 and 8 making 3 sixes, 666. You have a lot of the devil numbers coming up over and over and over again. And then in the middle of the night, Neocaligus sets sail and heads over to Vancouver. Let's see here. If I have this one on this page here. That's its previous track. Let me see here. You have to forgive me because I had so many of these things to play with today and so little time to work on them because it was an overtime day. Let's see here. Neocaligus and the shell game. There we go. So we knew Neocaligus would go to Vancouver because that's where the Olympics are. It's just a matter of time that she shows her face there. And surely she did. We kept all the tracks of all the ships, so if anything happens or anything goes funny, we'll be prepared to say. If we zoom in on the screen here again, Blue. In the middle of the night, Neocaligus sets sail, maybe gets a 911 call from the Vancouver Aquarium, and pulls into Vancouver Harbor and just starts doing some random sailing around there in the next day or two. The funny thing about Neocaligus as well is her number is CG7677, and for the people that play with the numerology numbers, that breaks down again. C is the number 3, G is 7. 3 sevens are 21, 2 plus 1 is 3, and the 7677 adds up to 27, 2 and 7 are 9, so you get 3 nines, again the inverted 666. There's another ship in the harbor that Neocaligus parks near, or berths near, and it just happens to be one of those luxury super yachts. It was made by the same company, Barnett, that made Paul Allen from Microsoft's yacht. His yacht is amazing. We did that some time ago on various shows I've been on. It's the James Bond yacht, and then some. $500 million. Has a submarine bay where it has a $250 million submarine and a hull that opens up to the bottom, just like James Bond. He only used it once to go to Antarctica on a major voyage with 50 Navy SEALs or something like that. You can never have enough friends, I guess, when you're on a cruise down there. Those little penguin guys can probably get pretty rough. So this yacht is called the After 8. It's much smaller. It's been docked there for a long time. There's some debate about who owns it. One of the possibilities is a family named Wheaton. They own a biosciences company. Ergo, we go back to Minot Air Force Base and the biological warfare scenario that was set up. Is there a coincidence? We have to wonder. This ship After 8, when it was laid down, was called the Leah Fail Project. And for people who know a lot about their antiquities, that's the Stone of Destiny in an old Irish language. Why you'd call a ship the Stone of Destiny is kind of strange, but the Stone of Destiny was very important to take into battle for the Scots and the Irish. And way back when, in the antiquarian days, the days of legend, there was supposed to be 4 great gifts: a sword, a spear, a cauldron, like the Olympic cauldron perhaps, and the Stone of Destiny that came from 4 great ancient cities in Ireland. Great kings are supposed to have stood on this stone, and the stone sang for them. And the ancient name for Ireland is Innisfail, Stone Island. Soldiers of the Stone are the Fianna Fáil, the Soldiers of Destiny. Just a very bizarre set of circumstances that this ship just happened to be in harbor. The funny thing about it as well is the artwork on it comes from the JQB studio. And when we read through the lines like our Mason brothers, as we said in the